This is music, and this first impressions video is a monster. Welcome to another first impressions video. In these videos, I share with you my first impressions of the many blind buys I've picked up lately. So I'm going to start out by lying and cheating because the first one is not a first impression. I'd heard it before I picked it up, but it's been a while, so I figured I would include it. We're talking Agnostic Front's Victim in Pain. Yes, horrifying photo on the front here. There's another horrifying photo in the booklet. This is New York hardcore punk. Agnostic Front are a very important band. They're very important to that scene and to the genre of hardcore punk in general. This is one of their early outputs, so the songs are short, aggressive, angry. They have a do-it-yourself vibe to them. In fact, they're so short that you have the entire United Blood EP as bonus tracks. So you have 21 tracks all together on one disc. You can barely recognize Roger Merritt's voice. You can hear it's him, but only just. I actually like his voice better on the more recent material, and I like the more recent material better in general, but that doesn't take anything away from this one. It's an important hardcore punk release, and it is enjoyable. And if you're interested in the hardcore punk scene, its history, New York hardcore punk, this one is definitely worth checking out. But it's very angry sounding. Now something very different. This one here, Deep Exceed by Aldious. This, I believe, is their first album. It's a power metal album, a mix of power metal and traditional heavy metal. You even have some thrashy sounding songs, power thrash, maybe power thrash adjacent songs. Two examples are Rift and Dual Personality, and there's a couple more. And then you have some all out power metal songs and a couple of ballads. Fantastic musicianship, great drumming, great bass work, great guitar work. Yoshi and Toki, I believe their stage names are the guitarists. Uh, they're great. They do a great job on the twin guitar harmonies, and I'm a sucker for that. So, on the musical side of things, this is a fantastic power metal album. It's awesome. Now, it has Rami on vocals, the original vocalist. And I was told she's a fantastic vocalist, and yeah, sure enough, she is. Her performance on this album is outstanding. She has a great voice in general. Um, she also is a technically very proficient vocalist. Her performance on here is very technical. She does some things that not all vocalists can do. She makes use of some very complex vocal melodies, and her singing style is almost like acrobatic in places. So she jumps from low register and mid registers into falsettos and back, and she can drop very fast from a falsetto into a low register. So she has a very impressive range too. We're not talking Sinisimer range because that is insane, but a very impressive range on her here. And she has the ability to change the texture of her voice too, a little bit to fit the songs. So, yeah, great performance by her. And I just like her voice too. This is a great power metal album. I don't, well, I don't think, I was about to say I don't like the production, but that's not true. But I don't think the production is perfect. Uh, there's some balancing issues. I think the vocals are a little bit too loud, and I think the bass is not loud enough. But apart from that, fantastic power metal album. I also listened to this one, also by Aldious, Determination. I think it's their second album, also with Rami on vocals. Same style, awesome power metal meets traditional heavy metal with some thrashy parts too, um, and a couple of ballads as well. And I think Rami's performance on here is less acrobatic, more straightforward. Uh, but still just as good, if you know what I mean. I like her performance just as much on this one. But yeah, so these two albums here are fantastic power metal albums. Definitely worth checking out if you just like power metal. Uh, Great performance by everyone involved. So yeah, awesome stuff. And then Rami had to leave because of health reasons, and she was replaced with a vocalist called Reno. And she sings on this one here. That's her right here in front. This is Dazed and Delight. And I don't think this came immediately after Determination. I think that's District Zero, but I think Reno sings on District Zero too. Um, and you do have your power metal and your heavy metal and your twin guitar stuff and some power thrash stuff. You know, there's Butterfly Effect. The first song is fantastic, and you got some amazing songs on here too. But the style is changing a little bit. You got some pop punk. You got some soft pop rock as well. You got some kind of alternative rock and alternative metal, kind of 90s inspired, sneaking its way in. I'm not a big fan of those songs. They're not bad. I just like the power metal and heavy metal and power thrash stuff much better. Um, uh, the production is very good on here. You can hear the bass, and I like that because Sawa is actually a very good bass player, and she does some very cool things, and I'm happy you can hear them on here. That's cool. Um, Reno has a very different approach to singing. Her voice is very soft, it's very silky, and she can hit some silky falsettos, and that's perfect for the softer songs and the ballads. But I will say, and a lot of people will get angry at me because she has a lot of fans. I don't think her voice fits Aldious's sound. I gotta be honest. I think it's too soft for the Aldious sound. It's fine with the pop punk and the alternative rock and the kind of soft rock stuff like Puffy Eyes. That's a song on here. But I think she composed a lot of those songs, so there's a connection there. It's fine with those, but overall, I don't think her voice fits uh, the heavy stuff, I have to say. I much prefer Rami. That's not to say that she is a bad vocalist. That is not what I am saying. I just like Rami's voice better in the context of this style of music. Reno had to leave too, and she's put out some solo stuff, which is pop punk, and her voice is perfect for that. So it's perfect in that context, but mm, yeah, I don't think it fits the Aldious sound, I have to say. But that doesn't make it bad, you know what I mean? I think this is very important for me to point out. I also gave this one a couple of spins. Aldious Otherworld is just a single, 3 tracks. Two of them have instrumental versions, although the backing vocals in one of them is retained, so that's not fully instrumental, but whatever. So, Otherworld, that song is great. It's the great heavy metal song, and yeah, I really enjoyed that one. The song called Dark, that's another song on here. That's a new metal song. Not bad. It's just, hey, new metal song. Their style definitely changed a little bit, a lot in certain places. So, and there's a DVD on here, by the way. I haven't watched that. The Deep Exceed one also came with a DVD. I haven't watched that either. But yeah, this is enjoyable for sure. I do prefer Otherworld to the two other songs on here, but it's an enjoyable listen. And then because of the Aldius connection, which I'll get into in a minute, I also gave this one a listen that I picked up not too long ago. Maki Oyama's Unstoppable mini album. 7 tracks on here. The Aldius connection is that Rami was in the band, she had to leave. Replaced by Reno, she was in the band, she had to leave. Replaced by a vocalist called Rin, who had to leave, and then they were without a vocalist. And then Maki Oyama stepped in and did some kind of almost like session work for them at some live shows. So there's that connection. Anyways, this one here is a modern hard rock album, and all the songs I think are great. good, some of them great. There's not a bad song on here. They all appeal to me. It's not like super heavy, um, aggressive metal or whatever, but modern hard rock songs. They're very catchy, lots of nice riffs. Um, so they're great in that sense, and her vocals are awesome. I really like her voice. It's very powerful, and it has kind of a rock and roll attitude to it, and I really enjoy that, and it's perfect for these songs. I do understand why Aldious asked her to, fill in on vocals. She is a very versatile vocalist, I have to say, because in the live performances that I've heard, the Aldious stuff where she sings, she can do that stuff too, and it's very different from what you have on here. Great little mini album with some nice hard rock. Also gave this one a spin. Monster by Maki Oyama as well. I think it counts as a mini album, although it's got 8 songs on it. Same style, modern hard rock, catchy, groovy, great vocals, but there's a little bit more diversity on here. So you have some kind of rock and roll-ish kind of songs, and you have some kind of ballads as well. Um, Vocals are fantastic on here too. I really dig her voice on these two releases. I have some other Maki Oyama stuff where she sounds a little bit different, and that's probably just because she's such a versatile vocalist. So yeah, good stuff altogether. I will say that Rin remains my favorite Aldious vocalist. I just love her voice in the context of Aldious. She is a great singer, very skilled, and um, she made those songs and the two Evoke albums that she sings on. They are like partially re-recorded, like old songs with her doing the vocals. Uh, she makes those songs even better than they originally are. Um, just check out the song Reincarnation. Check out the Rin version and the Reno version. Whenever I listen to the Reno version, it makes me want to listen to the Rin version instead. Yeah. So definitely, Rin is my favorite Aldious vocalist, closely followed by Rami, I have to say. Um, and then after that, yeah, let's just include Maki Oyama. She's in a third place. The only reason why she doesn't share the second place with Rami is that it seems like in those Aldios recordings or live recordings that I've seen, it seems like she's holding back a little bit. And I'm only thinking about this in terms of the context of Aldios, not what these vocalists have done outside of Aldios. Uh, that's the only reason. If she hadn't been holding back, she would share the second place with Rami. And then, yeah, in the fourth place, to me, we have Reno. I don't think she's a bad singer. She's a very good singer. I just don't think her voice fits um, the Aldius style. And I have to be honest, after I've heard um, a lot of stuff with Rami, like the two albums, Rami on vocals, the Rin versions of their classics, and the Maki Oyama versions live. I think actually my appreciation for Reno's voice has dropped a little bit. I know a lot of people will get really angry when I say this because she has a lot of fans, but uh, yeah, Rin, my favorite Aldious vocalist, closely followed by Rami, Maki Oyama, and then further down, Reno. The pop punk stuff that Reno has done as her solo output, that's great. I'm not a pop punk fan, but her voice is great in that context, if you know what I mean. Anyways, uh, it's all good. I enjoy all of this, and if you want to check it out, go and check it out. So there you go. Thanks for watching.